Just like to update you on some issues. Not to worry too much, it is being ironed out. The server needs to be restored to an earlier date because we playing with the video calling, as you can see below, and it did clash with some things, and it's not really clear to me what files were changed, but it is something. We had a report from the host saying that it's in a particular folder. I know the line within the script, line 244, where this is clashing, but there's other things that might have clashed that the server didn't necessarily detect and report as well. That's unusual. But go through a folder, then another folder, then another folder, then to the file. So layered and deep this was, searching for it in a Home Tools PHP script. Line 244 caused the whole site to crash, whatever really happened. I'm not really sure. White screen, no login page. It's all still there. It's not gone anywhere. It's just bottlenecked and stopping the access to the page. The blog is still there, of course, because that's a separate installation and a place where you can have your own blogs off the social pages. But since you can't access the social pages, you can't request your blog to be posted on our main blog or article. Again, I'd like to remind people of that. If you join up to the social pages and you write an article with the blogging section on the social pages, if it's cool and good enough, after it meets our criteria, we'll give you the chance to have it on our main blog, and we'll give you a shout out and helping each other there for notification, get noticed. Because if I give you a shout out, you can say, hey, I got shouted out by Exploratory Minds Project, go and check out his channel, right? Of course, this channel, like I've always been saying, is things as they happen. So we stumbled across something and tripped over it today. My own fault. I did have a separate installation for a testing ground. I needed to restart that. And what I'll do with that basically is use the things that are still in development and testing, because the video calling component is still in development. It's not finalized. It's not wise to install things that are not really finalized yet, because it'd be a simple thing that it could work with a system, but you change your theme, even how things are laid out, it could crash with that, even though you got a different theme. You can have a number of different themes for your front end, right? And it could work fine with one and display erroneously with another, or not display at all, like it was in this case. And again, the error report does report a clash with line 244 in the Home Tool. The Home Tools script itself might need to be internally updated rather than just that line anyway. I'll be looking into that. So we're going to restore the server to yesterday altogether, just to be sure, complete server restore, because there may be some files affected. We're not sure which ones. And the reason why we're not sure, we didn't really analyze this video calling is by a separate developer, and not necessarily third party, as all open source. But I didn't really look and analyze the whole thing. Again, my fault. How that thing would be working in certain details before I installed it. I had some ideas because of recent discussion of how it worked, but installed it and enabled it, went to the site, and poof, no front end to the site. Would you log in? There is a login button from our main blog that goes to a login page. You don't, not the sign up page. It's just, no, that's not showing up either. Or I might find out for sure later if I clear the browser cache, it might show up. I'll keep you updated anyway. This, at the very latest, this would take till late tomorrow to be restored. So, you know, it's not major. It's, yeah. And thank you, Astro Sweat and Lardo444 for commenting on some of the main blog articles. I thought Astro would be interested in the cannabis stuff, where it's not just analysing THC and CBD, it's analysing so many other aspects of this fascinating plant that has medicinal properties. I don't fully understand it. Some of it is over my head, but as you could see, the article went into details. The guy who wrote that article, and we put it on our main blog, I consider him, in his own right, a complete genius. Let's see. Just gonna quickly go to that article now. Let's have a look. Oops, I typed the wrong thing in. So, as expected, because it's a separate installation anyway, the blog's working fine. I've got a blog right in front of me now. So if you wanted to see the blog and you see that the hold on. Oh God. There. And you see that the front end, the usual login page isn't working, the blog's working. Go to exploratoryminds.com/EMP blog and you get the right thing. There's THC, CBD, CBN, and THCV, CBG, CBC. These are chemical elements of this plant that are all important. Between THC and CBD, though, when actually, you know how people who smoke weed burn their brains out, kind of thing. No disrespect to some people. I don't mean to be too critical, perhaps, but it's been said, "Oh, it'll make you paranoid." It's because you're only using one chemical. I forget which one's which, but one has antipsychotic properties, helps balance things out. But using too much of the other, your short-term memory can shorten, even worse, will turn off. You're too chilled out, and you can get particularly paranoid as well. To quote Astro Sweat, your comment, I'll mention it because it's public anyway. Very interested in access to home test kit and consistency, since my wife and I have forgone the use of pharmaceuticals and produce our own cannabis extracts. Nice article, thanks for posting. I'd like to see Thomas interacting a bit more on the platform. I know he's incredibly busy with other projects, though, other things. He's put out a lot of information there within that article, though. There's actual, it's like scientific analysis of this. Like he's put in his article, we are an advocate for legalization of cannabis. We find the criminalization of users, especially those in need of medicinal effects of cannabinoids, unethical. I would agree. If you take weed off the black market and legitimize it and put it into a legalization and make it legal, then it can be put through a legal process. You know what's in it. That will help. Not only help decriminalize it, it would also help to stop criminal activity surround it, because you buy stuff off people, you don't know necessarily what else has been mixed with, or where the hands have been on handling some other substances and handling this and that, what else is with it, and so on. A lot of that is a problem, has been a problem, and continues to be a problem with certain areas, particularly in the UK. The UK has a huge cocaine issue, but we don't actually hear about it in normal conversation anywhere. It's very, very screwed down, lock and key, sublime sort of problem. But once you investigate and look at the data and look at cases where police have discovered things, you'll find out, it's a massive problem here. So especially those in need of the medicinal effects of cannabinoids, unethical and a violation of basic human rights, helping others alleviate pain, depression, cancer, inflammation, and general well-being. Might be illegal and considered immoral by uninformed, popular, contemporary political standards. Thomas would never say this is a cure, I don't think, for cancers, but it's certainly a very beneficial medication that can help out with things like, anti-inflammatory. Definitely has been proven scientifically that it can do that, and in the right chemical balances help with depression and so on. So he's really done layered research here, and again, some of it is over my head in how it would all work integrated with many other things, because it's not my forte so much, but it's certainly something that's very interesting. So this is where we go with this. The best of the best will have their article on exploratoryminds.com, and it's our sole discretion to ignore some or put up some. You won't necessarily always know why we're not putting an article up. Alright? But we try to be as transparent as possible, but you won't necessarily always be notified why. You'll get a return message. Things like, please be aware that this is not what we're looking for at this time. Another time might be more appropriate. Things like that. And, it's not, don't take it personally. So a thin layer, this is Thomas, part of his article, a thin layer chromatography method is reliable and standard within 1/100 1/100th% deviation. TRC is a low-cost method for cannabinoid analysis and approved by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes for cannabis routine control of cannabinoid content and of cannabis origin. Thomas is from Denmark. He's pushing for his Danish government to legalise this and put it out, promote more of the medicinal aspects of this. And when this is put out, legitimately legalised, available, you can buy CBD oil now in the UK. Expensive, but you can buy it. That's legal, but it's not legal to grow your own. It's a clusterfuck, it really is. I'm a supporter of alternative uses of medicines, but I'm not a supporter of it going too far. For instance, if I was given this a choice between drink this that's not scientifically backed, but it claims just because it's got certain ingredients to mitigate any infection relating to viruses, like pandemic virus, or you can have this vaccine. I'm going for the vaccine because it's scientifically backed, right? This does not mean there isn't room for more discovery. Every single paradigm shift does not, and never has, come from the top down. Penicillin was discovered on a bit of mouldy bread, for Christ's sake. That's, it's grassroots that happen. Things sometimes things are discovered very accidentally, more often than not. And then people go to work on, this is an interesting discovery. Let's do some experiments to support a theory and so on. You go on from there, right? Yeah. So you get the idea, you get the point. Exploratory Minds is an exploration of things, and some of you users will be exploring things that are over my head, but if it seems legit enough to us, we're going to put it on the main blog. We encourage open conversation with what goes on the main blog as well, in order to lean away from confirmation bias if there's anything that is a bit biased here and there. It turns into a heated thing of people getting butthurt and hating somebody just because of some theory or opinion, then we will crush that. We won't put up with that. I had enough of bad apples in the last set of mini investigations I might have done, if you will, on the last project that kind of gave birth to Exploratory Minds project. That's not to say that we might brush up or slightly touch on some of the older subjects that we covered, but big lessons have been learned. Don't ever expect an expert to not be an idiot or start blurting out things that they know themselves aren't true, but they're playing games anyway. That's one of the hardest lessons I learned back then. And you just can't trust people, unfortunately, because of so many things. I like to be charitable, but yeah, you gotta watch people, because if they don't keep their egos in check and they let things go to the head, they have a superiority complex. They're gonna end up blurting out such utter bullshit just because they get a dopamine hit of thinking that they can control people via their nonsense. We won't support that. We will not, again, lean towards confirmation bias. We lean towards intellectual honesty. And Thomas is very intellectually honest, from what I could tell, going back as well on other things. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll look forward to doing another video soon. Cheers, bye.